So there is a book that has been released on Amazon, and we talked briefly about it here maybe a couple days ago. And it's being talked about because people are saying that this was Kim Porter's last words. And the allegations that are being made in this book are very explosive. Of course, they entitle Diddy and other people in the industry that surrounded this circle, right? However, I got curious, and a lot of people were messaging me and saying, Rabbit, read it. Please read it to us. Let us know what you think, yada, yada, yada. So I said, okay, fine. I'll go and get the book. I find it amazing that the only way that it's available is by paperback and not like, through like web or PDF or something like that, because that would have been a lot easier, at least in my opinion. I've been told that this book is about 60 pages, and Amazon does give us a little preview. But let me tell you, when I went to go look for this book, I mean, the first books that I pulled were books that I was like, what is this? Because they look very similar to the other one, to the one that everybody's talking about. Kim's Revelations, Well Kept Secret of Betrayal, but Not for Long. And this is written by somebody named Kyra Yuval, and there's like reviews to it. Some of the reviews have 5 stars. It's only like 2.1 star out of 5 stars. And there are actual customer reviews to it. Now, if you hit below, there's another book that essentially is written for Kim by another person, by the same author, Makari Yuval. Kim's perseverance, the untold truth of what she said, but no one believed. So this one has no reviews, and this one's actually available on Kindle for $7.99, but no reviews. And then this one right here is the one that has the reviews. So let's read some of these reviews real quick, and then we'll get into the one that everybody's talking about. So the people reviewed this book, and this book is about 57 pages. Okay. And Erica, who said not a memoir, gave it a 1 star, said this was a word salad of contradictions and a feeble attempt at a scholarly discourse. I want my money back. This is not what I wanted. Other people put 2 stars. This is a disappointment. It was not well written. It gave very little details of her life before Diddy, her career and adventures as a model, dates, and times were fuzzy. Okay. And then Felicia says, must. I believe this is probably one of these people paid these reviewers. Says it's a must. Reviewed in the United States, inside view of abuse. And then there's no more reviews from this. So this is just one of the many books that is basically written by somebody else for Kim. Now, the one that everybody's talking about right now is, my friends, it is this one right here, Kim's Lost Words. And this one's written by Jamal T. Millwood. And we find out, actually, we know that that's just a pen name, but we know the author now. And this one here has, let's see how many reviews, 13 ratings so far, with a 3.1 out of 5 stars. A lot of people are reviewing it. I've only seen a couple people give it a 5 star. But anyways, let me get to the preview, and y'all let me know what you think about the preview. This is the sample that they provide us, okay? And the disclaimer says, disclaimer, one of Kim Porter's final wishes was for this memoir slash diary to be made public. Out of protection for certain parties and their potential criminal activities, some celebrities, performers, and events have been represented with X's. Due to their highly explosive nature, at some point in the future, this information will be revealed to the public. Regarding Kim's sudden death and the mysterious illnesses of Albie Shore, Jamie Foxx, evidence does exist that points to foul play and or poisoning. God bless Kim Porter and all of Sean Combs' victims, both male and female. And of course, these chapters are very intriguing because, Lord have mercy, already I'm like, oh my God, chapter 6, Pac, Kenyatta. Let's see, The Lies You Tell. Chapter 14, Outshine, and you know that it's going to be about Shine Barrow, who we've been talking about. I mean, there's just a lot of, I don't know, chapters that I want to look at for sure. But my thing is, was this author? This was written for Kim. I just have a lot of questions about how do we know? How do we confirm this? Because it's not confirmed. Like, is this any different than a lot of what's already been put out there and whatnot? I don't know. But let's look into this little preview. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments, okay? Let me know your thoughts. Chapter 1, Introduction. Soon after high school, I started landing modeling jobs. I couldn't believe it. It was all happening so fast. I met my husband, the father of my oldest child, and one of my oldest friends in life, I'll be sure. It was a whirlwind romance. I was only 13 when we married, and no, it didn't work out. Al is still one of my best friends to this day. Our son Quincy is such a talented and wonderful young man. At that time, I had no idea my relationship with Al was going to introduce me to the man that I would spend the rest of my life, the rest of my adult life with, a man whom I would love and cherish, but eventually fear and hate. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but I will say, although I knew what was going on, I turned a blind eye many times. Here I have to tell this truth. Unfortunately, because deep down I knew everything that was happening, but I lied to myself a lot. He was so charming, a wolf in sheep's clothing, a devil, I fell for it. The story must be told despite the fact it will hurt my children. I cannot hide it any longer. Sean Combs must be stopped. Huh. Oh, Lord. It already, listen, it started for us. And this is just a sample. But let's keep reading. Humble Beginnings, Chapter 2. I was born to loving parents Jake Porter and Sarah L. Porter in the Peach State of Georgia. All through Columbine High School, where I graduated in 1988, I knew I was going to be famous. In the 10th grade, one of my best friends, Tina, said to me, "You won't make it here in Georgia." I knew if I really wanted to be famous, I would have to leave my hometown and my home, Georgia. The conversation was so important as I look back now. It changed my life. I met Al while I was working in the industry. He was so dope and charming, and I had such a crush on him. We were married before I knew it, and Quincy was on the way. But I was young, and it just felt like it wasn't going to last. It was a little heated between us after we separated, but we got past that quickly. He is just a super dope guy and an amazing father. Though we separated, we are forever bonded through Quincy. Thank you, Al. I will always love you. When I met Sean, he was cool. I didn't think much of him at that time. He was just another guy at the label. Uptown was huge, and we were all living our best life. But Sean continued to lay on the charm. And before I knew it, we were dating. As a young single mom at one of the hottest companies in the world, life couldn't get any better than it did. My boyfriend was getting even bigger. He and Clive would hang out a lot, but I didn't think anything of it. I mean, that was his boss, and he was doing things bigger than most men dare to even dream. Then it happened. I mean, okay, I was a little bit of a freak. I really enjoyed myself with my partner, and toys are one thing, but I never imagined having a man I was dating asking me to use a toy on him. It's about to get X-rated. Put your kids to bed. If your kids are watching this, if you don't want to hear any more of this, because I think it's about to get a little interesting in this unknown if Kim wrote in this book that we don't know if Kim wrote or not. Okay, let's keep reading. The first time he said he just wanted to experiment, try something new. I was grossed out, but he kept begging. He said it would only be this one time, and he was just curious. I was only 20 at the time. I said, "What the hell?" I hated it. He bled from it, and there was shit. I left him alone after that. Chapter 3. Oh, Lord have mercy. Might have to edit a lot of this, probably. I mean, at least they're letting us see the first couple chapters. I wonder, let me see, chapter 3. How many more chapters? Chapter 4. Oh, chapter 5. Chapter 6. And then it stops at chapter 6, a little after chapter 6. Okay. Chapter 3. Y'all ready? Okay. Second chances. Sean kept reaching out and I kept ignoring his calls. Eventually, in a few weeks, we ran into each other at an event. He came over and sat next to me. We were cordial. He flattered me by saying, "You look amazing. You look so amazing." I replied with a simple thanks, Sean. I tried to get up to leave, but he pulled my arm as I turned to him. He looked deep into my eyes and said, Look, what happened between us was weird, but I really care about you. Can we?" He paused, and I tried to use this as an attempt to escape. I pulled my hand back and I said, "Sorry, Sean, I have to go. Please, I think I'm falling in love with you. Can we talk?" My breath was taken away. Did he say he loved me? It was so fast. I wasn't aware of this as his manipulation tactic. Not yet. God, I was so young, so naive. He continued, "Let's just have dinner." And I fell for it. 2 days later, we went out for drinks at a lounge in lower Manhattan. The place was nice. Sean was really coming up and pulling out all the stops to impress me. He pulled a chair out for me to sit. Back then, he was always a gentleman. He smiled and said, "Look," as he sat across from me, "I hate it and I never want to do it again. Give me another chance." Over coffee the next morning, I decided to give him another chance. For the next year and a half, things seemed pretty normal. It was fun. Things were going great. And we were living the dream I dreamt about throughout my youth. Sean and Clyde were working on Bad Boy, and he had his first couple of artists. He picked up Craig Mack, then some rapper from the West Coast called Notorious, to help Chris develop. He was collaborating with the biggest names in hip hop to make it happen. Things could not be more amazing. Then he asked me to do it again. It was insane. Sean said, "Baby, I can't stop thinking about it." "What the hell are you talking about?" I responded. Sean continued, "I just can't stop thinking about the night. It was amazing. Can you screw me one more time, please?" I became infuriated. "Why don't you go to Clive? He is the one screwing you, isn't it?" Then Sean hit me. This was the first time he ever slapped me hard. Before I could form words, he began to beg, I'm sorry." Holding my cheek where he hit me, I turned and ran off. That should have been it, but I guess I am a glutton for punishment. Oh Lord, this is pretty graphic. So if I'm understanding this correctly, like, I don't even want to interpret this or process this. I'm just reading it as is. This is the preview. Y'all let me know your thoughts. Um, is this something that Kim would have wanted her last words to be, or lost words? Like, are these her lost words? He sent flowers and a bunch of expensive gifts. Then we bumped into each other at another industry event. He sat down next to me. This was deja vu. Sean started, "Imagine running into you here. Get the fuck away from me," I forced out. He became more serious as he said, "Look, baby, I'm sorry." But I just glared at him. "There is nothing you can ever say to me. Nothing." After an awkward silence, he finished, "You know I love you. I love your son. He's my son. I don't know how to fix this, but I'll do anything. I'm sorry." Shit, he can be so sweet. Here we go with the love thing. This time it's not falling in. He was great with Quincy, and to be honest, despite everything, I missed him. As he stood to walk away, I remember hearing myself saying, "Call me later." What the fuck is wrong with me? Chapter 4, Forgiveness. Sean arrived with flowers in his hands. He wanted to see Quincy. He was so good with them, and Quincy ran over to hug him. I felt my heart melting. He asked Quincy, "How are you doing, Tiger?" Wait, I've never heard Diddy say Tiger. Is that how he talks? Was he really calling people tigers? Okay. Quincy looked so innocent as he responded, "I'm good. I missed you." Sean's response sounded genuine. "I miss you too. We'll hang out tomorrow, okay?" "Okay." Sean gave him a little love tap on the butt. "It's bedtime," Quincy replied. "Okay, good night." As he turned to head towards his bedroom. Here was the man I fell in love with. But what was I thinking? Shit, not only does he want butt, he slapped the shit out of me. Oh man, I don't know if I can read all this here. I'm gonna get censored, blocked, and everything. Okay. Oh man, where did I leave off? So why am I still talking to him? They say that love is blind, but this is stupid too. As Quincy left, Sean looked at me and smiled. Baby, let's go have some fun. The babysitter's on the way. I just want to show you a good time. I was so mad at myself for melting as I said, okay. We sat on the couch, laughing and genuinely having a good time when the doorbell rang. The babysitter had arrived, and so we left. As we exited the house, a big man climbed out of the limo and opened the door for us. He wore a sharp suit with a gun noticeably tucked under his arm. I thought to myself, he could have made it invisible. Or did he want me to see it? Despite my reservations, Jean was a sweetheart. Oh Lord, this is Jean Deal. Has Jean Deal made a comment about this book? I want to know. Mr. Deal, what are your thoughts about this book? He was very curious and polite as he tipped his head and said, "Good evening, ma'am." Jean drew a smile out of me as I responded, "Hello." Jean and I would see each other a lot after this day. Chapter 5, Sean Kneels. The year passed, thankfully. We didn't have many bad arguments, although Sean was strangely getting into voodoo. Oh, wait, he was into voodoo? What? Okay. He would put curses on people, and I wasn't sure how to respond to the craziness. My problem as a single mother was I wanted to be married. He always had excuses and delay when it came to committing to marriage. His label was blowing up, Biggie dropped, and it was just about over. He also signed Mary J. Blige, and of course, when I found out he slept with her, we fought. He claimed it was a mistake, and my stupid ass took him back again. Sean asked me for a threesome with her. At first, I was mad, but Mary was beautiful. It was our first threesome, and I loved it. Mary was sexy. I would not be doing this a lot, but it was so hot. I was young, and exploring my sexuality was enticing. Oh man. And what say Mary about this right here? Because, she has stayed quiet too. She really has. But I do wonder. Over the years, we brought other women into our bedroom periodically. We were happy. That is until one day I came home to a situation that went from awkward to a nightmare. Quincy was with the babysitter, and Sean was sitting with Albie Shore at that dinner table. I had a child with Al, and Sean was the father in Quincy's life. The awkwardness of all of us being together had dissolved a long time ago, but it was still weird that they were here in my home together alone. Okay, where's this going? I sat down and we had drinks, and it was fun. The conversation was cool until it wasn't. Al was a little loose after a couple of drinks. I remember him saying, "It's still weird seeing you with my friend, but you're happy, so I'm happy for you guys." Sean responded, "Thank you, man. Me and you, we've shared so much." Al replied coolly, "Word." The conversation took an odd and awkward turn when Sean said, "We all been together sexually, but not together." I was shocked for a moment as quietness lingered in the room. I asked, "What do you mean by all together?" Al shifted uncomfortably, but Sean didn't hesitate. "You know how we sometimes invite other people into our bedroom?" I couldn't believe it. "Oh, hell no, Sean. This is my son's father." Al, say something. What Al said was mind boggling. "I don't know. It could be kind of hot. I miss you in that way." Although I couldn't believe Sean would do this, the truth was, I still cared about Al, and this could be very hot. I just didn't want it messing up my relationship. And if things became awkward, how would it affect Quincy? So I asked, "Are you both sure?" I imagine both of them. Oh, Lord. Okay. I imagine both of them. I'm going to stop right there and skip over that because I don't want to say that. I knew this would be awkward sexually. There would be some bumping of genitals. But what happened next, I couldn't even have imagined in my wildest dream. Al, and there's a bunch of X's. X, 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 X. I couldn't believe it. I stood there in shock. But when Sean, X, 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 I ran out of the room. This was too much. I couldn't. Sean called out to me, "Oh, come on, Kimmy. They didn't chase after me. They X, 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 X." Okay. Has Al read this part? Does he know about this? Because, like, is he denying this? Has he denied this? I couldn't get the image out of my mind. I couldn't be with Sean for a while. But that wouldn't be the last time I saw Sean in compromising positions. Not by a long shot. One day I found the vault where he kept all of his encounters with men. Yes, he kept them. He kept a record of them, but that's for later. I'm scared to read chapter 6. I All right, y'all. Y'all believe in this? Let me know if you guys. I don't believe that Kim wrote this. There's no way. Mm-mm. I don't believe Kim wrote this. Let me know. I could be wrong. Like, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Of course, I stopped reading certain areas, and I'll leave the link so y'all can read the preview by yourself. If you guys still want me to get this book, let me know in the chat. We could read it, but I just don't believe she wrote this. Like, Kim was too classy, in my opinion, to just, I don't know. The way this is written just doesn't sound like her. Anyways, Chapter 6, Pac. Biggie took over East Coast hip hop, and Sean was the brilliant mind that orchestrated it. He hired people to teach Chris how to flow and write his lyrics. He hired the best producers to do the beats, although he took credit for them, and the music was unstoppable. At this point, Sean was sleeping with all the power players, and everyone that wanted to do music wanted to be a bad boy. Sean wheeled and dealed in a way that would have been unthinkable to many. He slept with the guy that really controlled the music to stay on top. A lot of the names average people have never heard of. These are the guys that make the decisions on who is winning and who is not. He hosted parties that were just a fancy name for orgies, and everyone wanted in. Oh, were those the white parties? Oh my gosh. When I met Tupac, Sean and I had an open relationship, and yes, I slept with Tupac. Shit, he was sexy. Sean didn't mind. Well, not until he tried to get Pac to join both of us. Pac was not good with that. This was where the relationship between them became strained. Tupac wasn't going to accept Sean's advances. Pac wasn't gay, and he was pissed about the advances. We were all in Sean's house. I was drinking, they were smoking, and everyone was just relaxing. Sean came in on what I'm sure he would call a smooth approach. "My baby is bad, isn't she?" Pac threw a sly smile. Hell yeah. I felt myself blush. Sean was now in full swing. "You think you could hit it better than me?" I couldn't believe he disrespected me that way. I was not playing with my response. "Sean, what the fuck?" Pac came to my defense. "Damn, bro, you ain't got to do the sister that way." Tupac appeared upset behind Sean's word, but Sean went in for the kill regardless. "I think my bean's bigger than yours. I bet I can make her see faster than you." "What's up?" Pac was appalled. "What the F are you talking about? I ain't trying to run no effing train," Sean continued. "What you scared of? Let her see who F's better. Let her be the judge." Yes, at this point, we had been inviting others into our bedroom for a while, but I'm not used to it and will not stand for disrespect. I wasn't the only one upset. Pac shouted, "You talking about pulling your effing peen out?" Sean was undaunted. "What you scared of?" Tupac simply left. Things were contentious between us. The two could not be in the same room. Pac avoided me as much as he did Sean. When they did bump into each other, the tension was palpable. It felt like blows could be thrown at any moment. Months passed with only the tension between them. It was uncomfortable, but nothing life or death. Then one day, while we were at the studio, it happened. I walked into Sean's office and he was having the conversation. Sean sat across from Jimmy Henchman. Pac, don't leave that effing studio alive. I don't think I was supposed to hear it. I continued as if I didn't. Hey, Sean. Good morning, Jimmy. They didn't seem to think I heard anything. I'm ordering breakfast, smiling. Sean replied first. Let me get eggs sunny side up with grits and an orange juice. I could see he was hungover. Good. I don't want him knowing I know anything. If he just put a hit on and then it stops. I don't know. Like, look, I personally, if y'all want me to buy this paperback book, let me know. I wish they sold it in like a PDF format. Cause I'm gonna be honest with you, what do I don't want the paper format of this. I really don't. Like, what am I gonna do with it when I'm done reading it? It's just weird to me. And I mean, the reviews bought an Amazon, just finished reading it. It reads like true. And if it's true, Diddy's responsible for at least 6 murders. And there's some wild sex stuff that have gone on with many celebs and Sean Combs. Details are redacted. I just received my copy, only made it to page 12, but I was pleasantly surprised that the details were placed with a series of X's. There's a few typos. So there's a couple typos I could tell. Somebody saying, don't buy this book. It's not Kim's lost words. This is someone assuming what happened. Please save your money. Some must read. Get the book. Somebody's getting commission. Clearly states commission earns. Oh, somebody's calling out Tisa Tells here. It says she's the other blogger. I thought blogger was not getting commission. Clearly it states. Clearly states commission earns. Oh, oh Lord. That's a mess. You have to tell him no. Lost for words. How can anyone look at Sean Diddy the same way after this? Truth. I personally don't know what to think of this book. I mean, clearly there are people that are saying like, why are these X's here? Because I mean, the author did say that there would be X's at the beginning of the like there would be X's because they need to whatever for the purposes of, it says right here, potential criminal activity in the future that could happen, whatever risk this person runs for publishing this. My thing is like, I just don't know if this is something that Kim would have written. Like it does sound like a lot of girlfriend kind of talk, like how you would talk to your girlfriend, if your man's doing crazy shit like this, but not anything that would be like her last words or lost words. And then what do you make of all these other books that, I mean, seemingly people were writing for her? Even this tell all or whatever, Lost Words, it's not written by her, it's by someone else written for her. How do we confirm that this is her? Here it is. And I mean, literally, people are like bigger major outlets are reporting this book to be truth. Can I don't know, y'all. What do you think? And if you think that this is true, tell me why you think this is true. Like, I want you to tell me why. Okay. And clearly, I censored myself a lot in this video because I mean, this shit is gonna. It's very sexual, and to me, it's like, are we? I don't care that this man liked men. That's not what this is about. And I think that what this book is doing a little bit is shaming him on that. That he got into like these sexual relationships with men. My concern is that, you know, were people consenting or not, minor children, that's the biggest thing. I could give a shit about Diddy's sexuality. I really don't care. And I think that this shameful of a book to put that out there. But they're also using Kim's face and quote unquote words to say that this is what she said. And maybe this was through girlfriend talk or, through, your friends that you're talking about things that you've gone through with your partner. But I just don't know if they're her words. And like I said, there's this underlying shaming, sexuality shaming that I just don't appreciate. I don't need to hear details about people using butt plugs. I really don't. I don't care. Like I said, as long as they're consenting adults and not children. And unless unless the person that wrote this is saying something different, I don't know. The jury's out, in my opinion, for me. But maybe you guys feel like this book is tea, and you learned something that you didn't know before, which I feel like a lot of us have been reporting this, but whatever. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Should I get it or not? I'll see you guys on the next one. Rabbits out. Bye, guys.